Good Wednesday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain AccuWeather, coming to you by way of the Captain AccuWeather Command Center. Well, we have some fog this morning. Should that surprise you? Probably not, given the fact that some of us, I'm not to say everybody, but some of us got some good rain yesterday. The airport picked up probably the lion's share of the rain, 0.77. Can you imagine that? Over 3/4 of an inch of rain fell at McGee-Tyson, and if I said that was going to happen everywhere, you'd say that's silly. I didn't get that. I got spit, some of you said, in the plateau. Didn't get much rain at all yesterday, but look at where we now have some fog issues, maybe down to a mile or less, where you see Mount LeConte and Wartburg and Oneida. Any area in gray would be susceptible for some patches of fog this morning, so be mindful of that if you're driving early this morning. The low beams might be of help to you, and of course with light winds, 3 miles an hour, we have an environment that's conducive, that is favorable for some fog development. Not much wind even in the Smokies, so it's pretty quiet in terms of wind, and it will stay pretty quiet today and tomorrow, so don't expect much wind in the next couple of days. Temperature right now 65 degrees. Would love to know what you have in terms of temperature. If you have a comment, you have a beautiful smiling face on your avatar. I'll do my best to put you on my screen. Love to say hi to you. In fact, Steve Stone's quick on the draw. He's on YouTube. He says good morning with his sunshine and his happy face. Now, I think we'll probably start off with clouds, Steve, but then give way to more hazy sunshine this afternoon. And I left a 30% chance. 30% chance for a shower, maybe a rumble of thunder today. Our friend Kay Human's on here. She says good morning as well. She's on Facebook. And I do have Wanda Poe. She's noting out that it is foggy, she says. Foggy here in Newport. And she said, we had some rain yesterday. She said, please come on. More rain, please. More rain, please. Fred's on here. He's got a report. 66 degrees in Maryville. He says it was nice rain yesterday. So he was kind of in the epicenter in the Maryville area around the airport, picking up 0.77 officially at the airport. Hard to believe. Biggest rain we've had all month. The question is, could we see some of that today? Don't think it'll be quite as pronounced. Maybe we get roughly maybe we get about a 1/10 of an inch in spots, but I think that might be generous. It's currently 64 in Rockwood, 64 in Crossville in the heart of Cumberland County. Good morning to you. Jacksboro, our friends in Campbell County, you've got 63, and our friends in Bell County, Kentucky, starting off at 65 degrees. Let's talk about the dew points. Those are still pretty high compared to where they've been the last couple of weeks. We've had dew points in the 40s and 50s, but now that it's in the mid-60s, it's a touch more humid. Maybe you notice it if you're super sensitive. Yeah, it's not as comfortable this morning with the dew points in the mid-60s, and it will be hazy, hot, and humid this weekend. I'll talk about that more in detail in addition to our Oklahoma forecast for our Tennessee volunteers. Tracking the clouds on the radar, you can see there's still some spin associated with this weak, what was a weak tropical depression. Never received the name Helene. Hurricane Center decided to give it the old potential tropical cyclone number 8. That just rolls off your tongue. PTC number 8, doesn't it? But PTC number 8, the remnants of it, still spinning across the Carolinas, and you're seeing more rain up toward West Virginia and Virginia and through parts of the mid-Atlantic. Today, I expect we'll make it in the low 80s. Now, yesterday was amazing. Yesterday, you ready for this? We hit 68 degrees. How do you live with yourself? You said 74. It was 75 in Oak Ridge. Tell me, how many miles would it take to go from Oak Ridge to McGee-Tyson? Is that a trivia question? You know the answer. Not long, right? 75 was the high in Oak Ridge. They picked up, I think it was 0.04 inches of rain. McGee-Tyson picks up 0.77 inches of rain. They don't get out of the upper 60s. That's the way sometimes the cookie crumbles. Some of us like to say it was sunny on one side of the street and it was raining on the other side. How does that happen? It's called weather. It happens every day, somewhere around the country, it would seem. Anyway, 68, 58, the high and low yesterday, picked up 0.77, and the peak wind gust yesterday was only 23. I thought this was a storm. Well, 23-mile-an-hour gusts, so it seems like an average everyday type of gust. Normal high and low, 82, 61. And the record high 98 today from 1931, record low 45 from 1903. So I'm all about context. I keep notes so that you can hopefully benefit and maybe make the adjustments you need to make. It's going to be a little warmer today. Even at 75 Oak Ridge yesterday, you're still 5 degrees warmer in Clinton, Oak Ridge, as I see it this afternoon. I have you at 80, and I have it at 80 in Newport, where Wanda Poe is, and 80 degrees in, say, Maryville, about 81. For Knoxville proper. So again, we're going to be generally in the upper 70s, low 80s as a general rule today, despite the fact we have a 30% chance of rain. Where is this rain? I don't see much rain there. There's a lot of ground clutter, A lot of maybe radar noise on the ultimate Doppler radar. But if we go back over the last couple of hours, still more of the same. It's been a quiet overnight. We've had some fog develop, and that's pretty much about it. Most of the rain has disappeared, but I suspect there'll be a few more flare-ups coming up from the south, maybe later this morning, before it all begins to slow down. The ultimate Doppler radar presented by your local Marco's Pizza. If you're making lunch plans, may I suggest Marcos.com. They do delivery. They do deliver. Hardin Valley, Farragut, Maryville. They're located in Fountain City Halls, Oak Ridge, and you can find a location in Middlebrook Pike and Ebenezer Road, and you don't have to live on Ebenezer Road. They will deliver outside of Ebenezer Road. You have to check in with Marcos.com, see if you're within their delivery area. But their pepperoni pizza is magnificent. They call it the Magnifico for less than $10. And if you're looking for a great lunch idea, try the new Pozzoli from Marcos. It's delicious. My personal favorite, pictured at the top of that screen, pepperoni and sausage. It's yummy, and yes, less than $6. What a great thing to do. Go to Marcos.com, and they are a great sponsor for Captain Accurate Weather. You can see more showers across Virginia, back toward the nation's capital, but there could be some spin-up showers today, and maybe, just maybe, a rumble of thunder before the day is through. Most of what we see back to the west, Great Lakes are quiet, a couple of showers in Kansas. We'll look at the bigger picture momentarily in just a few moments. So let's first, though, talk about what you may be seeing. I want to check in with the comments as we look at the nation as a whole and look at the rainfall. We've now picked up 0.81 for the month, and we averaged 3.49. Now, I know that August, September, October, based on history, just based on those green numbers, they're the lowest. August, September, October, typically the driest months of the year. That's climatologically favored. It's nothing to get too alarmed about, but you should note, if you're a gardener, if you're a landscaper, maybe you're just someone who wants to keep their lawn nice and green, October's the most challenging month because we typically see less than 3 inches in the month of October. So your pumpkin patch, your corn maze time should be uninterrupted without rain, but that might also be a drawback. I got a note from Matt. He is here. He says it's cold weather. It happens every day. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what else? He's laughing, but it's true. It's one of those things where people will come to me and they'll put in a request. I always like to say, I'm not a vending machine. I'm a messenger, but I'm not the vending machine. People are like, I want a Snickers bar and I want a Diet Coke and I want rain on Monday, but not on Saturdays. Look, I understand that may be your preference, but to tell me it's like, I don't know, complaining. Well, I won't go into it, but it's just one of those natural things that we see these things ebb and flow. July is typically a very soggy month with the July thunderstorms, the gully washers, but it trends to retreat heading into the months of September, October. And is it any wonder? We're still under a drought. Even though we got 0.81 inches of rain yesterday, we are still under a drought. But we've seen this ebb and flow. I mean, look at the blue squares are the cooler than average numbers. A couple weekends ago, we didn't get above 78. My goodness, with no humidity and 78, some of you thought that was truly the two best slices of nice of summer. And I can't argue with that. It was comfortable. But some of you like it hotter. We hit 89 this past Saturday. We hit only 68 degrees on yesterday. Now it's 81, but that doesn't seem to be right. There might be some issues there. But I do think we hit 68 yesterday. That was Tuesday. Today is Wednesday. So that my map might not have updated correctly. But I will say this, Gordon is now off the list. We've got Helene, Isaac, and Joyce on the tropical name list going forward, and we'll look at that more in a moment. Tracking some clouds. Some of these low clouds will be present, but look for a good blend of the two. Back to the hurricane problem or situation out in the Mid-Atlantic. We had Gordon, who decayed to just a remnant low, so they've kind of written him off. But he might emerge a little stronger as he moves north, so they've got, I think, a 60% chance of Gordon coming back on the playing field. And there's a new little patch of yellow in parts off the Yucatan, 20% chance that could become a tropical named storm that comes by way of the National Hurricane Center. There's the remnants of Gordon. Yeah, you can see its track, little broken white lines. I mean, it moved from essentially east to west, but it then kind of fell apart right there in the middle of the Atlantic. So could this storm move further north and reemerge? I think they've put a 60% chance of that occurring. I want to show you the future rainfall. Based on the guidance of the modeling, you might pick up 7/100ths of an inch. That would be generous. If we got another 7/100ths of an inch of rain today in Knoxville, that's what this map would suggest. And maybe closer to 2/10ths around the Smokies, around Mount LeConte. But again, it's going to be predicated on where these showers take up residence. It's just one of those situations where the data can suggest maybe a 1/10 or 5/100 of an inch, but I don't expect much. The next couple of days, the chance of rain is much less. All right, let's go to the Vols, because this is going to be, this is going to be the game to watch. I mean, 7:30 Saturday, that's, of course, Eastern time. That's our time. But if you're in Crossville, if you're in Oklahoma, you're in Central time. It's a 6:30 start. But because 6:30 is still late afternoon, early evening for Oklahoma, they're going to be in the low 90s, it appears. There will be some storms further north, up toward Kansas and further west, but for Norman, Oklahoma, which is south of Oklahoma City, and for the Oklahoma Memorial Stadium, which is really east Norman, I think it's going to be partly cloudy and warm. So they'll be cooling back to 88, and I say that quotation marks, at halftime. They'll be sweating under that helmet. 84 at fourth quarter, but both 3-0, huge game. Of course, our coach has a history with the Oklahoma University program. He was a superstar, I have been told, back from 2000. By the way, sunrise and sunset today will be coming up at 7:21. Sunsets at 7:38. Tears of joy if you do get a passing shower. And for those headed off to school, make sure you're mindful. There could be some fog this morning as temperatures will rise into the upper 70s for pickup between 2 and 3:30. That's my expectation here on a Wednesday. Let's check in with some comments. I got a note from Ed. Ed says, good morning. He notes it is a great time for coffee on the porch to watch the sun come up. Great, Ed, thank you for that update. Oh, and I see a note from Wanda. She's being very complimentary. She says, you're the best weatherman, David. Thank you for being here and keeping us updated. My pleasure. And Matt, still laughing about my joke, I guess. I connected with somebody today, and Matt says he loves it. Anyway, it's one of those things where weather is what it is. You can't change it, and you could put in a request if you want. By the way, fall color, I get this question from time to time. It is mid-September, after all. It's the 18th. There's more color popping up across the Rockies. They typically see their fall peak earlier than we do, clearly, as areas west of Denver are now showing signs of high color, moderate color, even up into Idaho, parts of Oregon, and Montana. So there are some color areas back to the west. There's also more color showing up in parts of New England and parts of northern Wisconsin and the UP of Michigan. But it's not to say we don't have some color. I've taken some pictures of leaves from trees, but as a whole, most of the trees are still undecided. The forecasted colors look like this through next Monday. So it will be peaking in some cases west of Denver. If you have travel plans there, maybe you have family there. They could snapshot some pictures for you, put it up on Facebook. They could take some photos if they're west of Denver. Some beautiful fall color takes place between now and next weekend and into Monday. Monday's the 23rd. But this is all forecasted from our friend Evan Fisher. He's got a great website, Explore Fall. So the information that you're seeing here provided by him. And by the way, you can see some of the color there in Maine. They should be of high color, moderate color in spots by this upcoming weekend right through Monday. So there are some areas here in East Tennessee that are showing great promise, but they might be one isolated tree here, one isolated tree there. The green doesn't mean no color. It just means little to no color on average, but it is starting to show signs of changing in the Smokies right into parts of western North Carolina. I want to show you the smoke. We have the remnants of PTC number 8 still spinning, so the smoke, if there is any, is still trying to spin away. That's why we have like a little donut hole, but it wants to fill back in light smoke, not moderate, just a little hint or a tinge of smoke that might still be in the air from nearby wildfires. It is 6:53. I want to get to more of your comments and also cover the temperatures. Right now it's 63 in Johnson City if you're just joining us, 65 in Knoxville, and we've got, 68 in Chattanooga. That's their current temperature. Our friend Janet Potts reporting she's got 62 in Talbot, and she is noting that it is foggy, so be extra careful. Thank you, Janet, for that update. Appreciate that. As she noted, have a nice day. Everyone have a nice day. And Kelly Hart's on here. She says good morning. She's got her sunshine and smiley face. And I do see Danny says go Vols. Happy to see Danny here. He's, I'm sure, not going to miss 1 minute, not 1 minute of that Oklahoma game, as it will be an exciting game to watch this Saturday evening. By the way, it's 6:54. Let's keep moving. How about the dew points? We talked about it. It's a little stickier. The yellow areas are more comfortable. And I see that the yellow areas have now moved back toward western North Carolina. The dew points are lower, for example, in Bryson City and Asheville, as compared to Knoxville. Knoxville 64. So a little more humidity, not terribly off the chart, but it is noticeable all the same. And you can track it with the humidity tracker. It kind of comes and goes this afternoon. This is a 5 o'clock snapshot of where those higher dew points will be in green. It will be much higher in Raleigh and Charlotte, maybe a touch higher in parts of Knoxville and certainly the Commonwealth of Kentucky. But it spins in and spins out. Tomorrow morning it might be low, and then tomorrow afternoon it comes back. So it will be gradually getting more noticeable as we head through the rest of the week. Few showers today. That's about it. Maybe a rumble of thunder. Spotty rain tomorrow. And then it turns hotter this weekend. If you like the 90s, oh yes, we've been keeping track. Keeping track of the 90s, we will see more likely a couple of 90-degree days on Saturday and on Sunday. 65 is our current temperature. We have an east wind at 3 miles an hour and the relative humidity, 97%. Precipitation chances, 30 and 20. 30 and 20, and no chances on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I do have a dry weekend. If we see some rain on Friday, I think it's Tri-Cities. I think it's Asheville. I was tempted to keep a spot of rain on Friday, but I think it's going to trend eastward. So if you happen to be in the Tri-Cities, you're over toward Asheville. Friday, I have a spot of rain, but for us, I think we're back to 88 with hazy sunshine. It's going to be a little warmer on Friday. Then the chance of rain, another good round, might be next week. By Tuesday of next week, we'll keep an eye on that, and I'll revisit that forecast later this afternoon. But my Valley Planner, this will get you through the next 12 hours. Where am I at noon when I'm looking at lunch? Oh, 74. That's comfortable, right? It's not too hot. Maybe a touch warmer than it was yesterday. But 74 is projected by noontime today with clouds, hazy sun, maybe a good blend of the two. But there will be a few showers, particularly through the early afternoon, morning and afternoon, with maybe a rumble of thunder. Just a 30% chance. It's not that great. Yesterday I had a 60% chance, so I think the probability is less, maybe even half of what it was on Tuesday. Storm Prediction Center showing some color, some yellow areas. We're talking about scattered severe storms, not on the East Coast, because that's all colored light green. That would be just general thunderstorms. But where severe weather could actually break out today would be up toward parts of Sioux Falls, maybe Sioux City, maybe even just on the doorstep of Minneapolis, where they could find some isolated severe storms extending down into Kansas, Oklahoma, and North Texas. Meanwhile, for here, if we get thunder, it might be favored around Morristown or Kingsport based on the lens and the coloring of the Storm Prediction Center. That's where they have drawn their map of some thunder in green. By the way, Thursday, severe weather continues in Minneapolis, St. Paul. Maybe scattered severe storms there tomorrow. Kansas City could have an isolated severe storm tomorrow as well. And then on Thursday, I have a spot of rain. There's still that very small chance of thunder based on this map that could be in Newport, could be in Kingsport or Johnson City on Thursday. Don't have any concern for severe weather, obviously on Friday from this map, but the Tennessee map looks pretty quiet with no thunder. As I said, I don't even expect rain to be an issue here locally. But this is the low. This is the PTC number 8 leftovers, right? This little low kind of dancing in place. Kick starts a few showers before noon. Not all this reaches the ground, but it may actually create something that's not there. 5 o'clock drive, clouds are actually beginning to decrease. Yes, decrease, which means we're going to have more fog in the morning tomorrow. Maybe no worse, no better than what it is now, but there will be some patches of fog on Thursday morning. By Thursday, again, pop-up shower may develop, isolated as may be, spotty, but again, a lot of this is model noise. It kickstarts a little more moisture as this energy is still spinning, putting more rain around Wilmington, Jacksonville, North Carolina on Thursday. So that's the way things are shaping up there. And then Friday, I think it's Asheville, maybe even Tri-Cities. I don't see a problem for rain for us at all on Friday. So if you've got Friday night football plans, things look pretty quiet, and I see it also dry on Saturday. I think a lot of that is overstated. So for today, high of 81, clouds, hazy sun, showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, but the winds 0 to 5. Almost calm for much of the day. Today, 82 for a high in La Follette if you're in Middlesboro. 81, 79 for Hamlin County, Morristown, Talbot, Russellville, and even Alpha. 80 in Crossville, and 80 degrees in Wartburg. Got some other notes coming in from Hallie Gibson. She says, good morning. She's heading to Vegas. Oh my. Well, then you understand probabilities. She understands odds. She knows she's either going to probably bet on black or red, but then it always lands on green. How does that happen? That's impossible. There's only one slide on green. I know. It's tough. Anyway, thanks for the update. You're more than welcome, Hallie. I'm smiling. Have fun, by the way. I have some family. Brother lives in Vegas, so I've seen the roulette wheel on an occasion out there. But it's nice to know that you're going to be out there. Be safe on your travels. Marilyn Bell is here. I don't know how I missed her note. She says it's foggy outside White Pine this morning, especially areas near Douglas Lake. Douglas Lake has some fog, so thank you very much for that update. She's a very good weather spotter as well as a premium member, very supportive of Maryland. And then we have Darcy. She says, it felt so good yesterday. She said, a cool morning, not looking forward to the 90s again. Happy hump day. Thank you very much, Darcy. She's on here and very thankful for her note as the smiling faces and the avatars continue. It's 7 o'clock straight up. It's time to finish the forecast. If you're traveling today, we heard Hallie's going to Vegas. That goes well off my map. But if she has the Captain Accurate weather app, she can get a 7-day forecast just like that for Vegas. Very, very cool. 87, may not be cool out there, but it'll be hot usually in Vegas. 87 in Nashville for a high temperature today. Lexington 83, expecting a high of 82 in Atlanta. Tonight, because clouds decrease, you can anticipate some patches of fog by morning. No wind, lows around 62 first thing tomorrow morning, and 61 for Oak Ridge, 61 for Morristown, Newport 59, and about 60 in Oneida, Scott County. Our friends in La Follette, about 62. Here is your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville, East Tennessee. Well, I kind of previewed it. I kind of gave away the big story. That's the heating trend, or the warming trend. It just turns hot. Saturday, Sunday, hazy, hot, and humid. Temperatures in the mid-60s for lows. Best chance of rain in the next 7 days would probably be, if not today, better chance I think on Tuesday. Tuesday, maybe Wednesday of next week, but I'll revisit that later today. But prepare for a hotter day, and maybe some of you will be thrilled that it turns hot because you could maybe get a few more days at the neighborhood pool if it's open. Who knows? Or maybe you're going to hang out by the lake. Those are all options for sure. By the way, if you haven't picked up the Captain Accurate Weather app with Pete Michaels Traffic, I hope you'll do so. All the National Weather Service alerts are there, plus 3 extras from Barron, world-class radar company, Barron. And when you get Pete Michaels Traffic, so if you can get weather and traffic on the same app, how convenient is that? Plus lightning alerts. You get everything, and it's free. Just search the 2 words, Captain Accurate, the App Store and Google Play. And of course, with temperatures going to be warming up later today, notice the clouds begin to break a little bit. I wanted to show you this so you could see the decrease in clouds and maybe a few pop-up showers. This doesn't put it everywhere. There are a few green dots, clearly, but not enough to say, hey, that's going to cure my drought problem, because it's not likely to do that whatsoever. But there are a few showers. It looks like 3:30 in Claiborne County, maybe Hancock County, or Hawkins County. So it's somewhere in the viewing area. Something may spin in, spin out, and it's just the way it goes. But you can see temperatures by 5 o'clock should be around 81 degrees. Well, my name is David Aldridge. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate. So weather doesn't surprise you. We'll see you here next time. Take care.